are methods to cultivate the mind. Some are the method, when the teachers there, the instructions there, all the method of the practice understanding are the method how to cultivate bodhicitta. Then of the method to cultivation. Some are the training in the cultivation of the mind. Cultivation means bodhicitta. There is a training of the aspiration bodhicitta. There is action bodhicitta's training, like 6 parameters, so forth. And some are the beneficial effects of the cultivation of the mind, bodhicitta. As when you cultivate bodhicitta, bring the bodhicitta into your heart, how much benefit is there? Peace, joy, fearlessness, confidence, so forth. How much benefit is there? Benefit for oneself, benefit for others. Some are the result of cultivation of the mind, the bodhicitta. Buddhahood is the result by the cultivation of the bodhicitta. So all minor teachings, the great vehicle teachings, are included in the cultivation of the mind bodhicitta. Therefore, all these instructions are imparted by the spiritual masters. The spiritual master who imparts these teachings, who gives these instructions, these teachings, step by step. See, depend on the spiritual master. No, so these teachings are you receive from the spiritual master. These teachings are depend on the spiritual masters. Planting the noble stock, Sutra says, the spiritual master is the source of all the virtuous teachings. The attainment of omniscience, the enlightenment, Buddhahood, depends on the instructions of the spiritual masters. No, there's no magic. You cannot buy enlightenment. You receive the teaching, you have to practice. No. That's what Buddha said. No? Buddha said, Buddha, it's like come round in the wall, pour the water on the head, washes all the sin, and Buddha comes round, said, this is my realization, you take it. That scientifically doesn't work. So everybody, since we have the Buddha nature, we create the cause. Since everything's depends on the cause, so we have to create the cause. For that, these instructions are indispensable. It makes sense? See how important these are. First, these are introduction to the method of this, the instruction of the spiritual master. Now, antidote to attachment to this life. Now, what we should do? We cannot force. So don't attach to this life, and we will resent. What do you mean? But we look at this step by step. Then it makes sense or not. Utilize our own, because we have the mind. Mind is consciousness. Conscious means you conscious something, isn't it? You conscious this is right or wrong. You conscious this is eatable or not eatable, isn't it? I conscious this, I conscious that. So that you using your own mental judgment, consciousness, the awareness. So I aware something. we have awareness. The mind is awareness. Mind is consciousness. So through that we use that our own mental, to see these things, and then practice as you can. So chapter 4 means chapter 4, impermanence. Of these 4 instructions, the first instruction is meditation on impermanence as the antidote to attachment to this life. In general, all composite phenomena are impermanent. All that composite, there's a big, profound meaning that composite phenomena, if it is uncompounded, it's not composite, then you can say it's permanent. But that which is composite, composed by the causes and conditions, that which is composed, that is impermanent. This each has to see such a profound reason. It didn't say all the phenomena are impermanent. Say all the composite phenomena are impermanent. Try to make a logical reason. So now you can investigate. You just look at the history. Is there anyone which is composite and now is everlasting? Look at that. Is there or not? Use your own judgment, your own understanding. So that's why I say, all monks, so there are hundreds of monks, all the monks listen to me. Buddha said, all composite phenomena are impermanent. It's because that time all the monks in front of Buddha, whoever the audience there, Buddha spoke in relation to that. If there are hundreds of nuns that time, they will say all nuns. Buddha will say that. This can relate to anybody. Just by hearing that, there's a sense of renunciation. Oh, everything is impermanent, changing. Changing means not real. So impermanence means it shows everything's not real. Today's your best friend here. You're so close. You're attached to each other. Even you want to sacrifice your life for that your friend. But after some days, it becomes bitter each other. Then you are so close, being so close, it's become unreal. Now you start giving, suffering each other. Before you try to give happiness each other. So it's not real. So there's an impermanent. Just look at this. Just by hearing the word, gives you such a great relief. Just meditate on this. What a great wisdom is there. Buddha taught so many teachings, but Kambupa just brought one line, which is all the essence just put here. Now, in what way are the impermanent? How you can say, how we can practice, how can I understand the impermanence, So the intro this sums up all impermanence into 4 categories. The end of accumulation is dispersion, also consume, or just finished. we accumulate so much, At the end, they have to go, finish. Look at this. You can see when we move to house, if you stay in one house 5 years, 10 years, and how much you have accumulated. And then after 10 years, if you move, how much accumulations you have, you see. Then you have to get rid of all those, you see. When the center, first we started the center in the Connecticut Avenue in Washington, D.C., 1 year. From Connecticut Avenue, then we moved to 16th Street, about 8 or 9 years. And then from that, we moved here, So you can see during those times how much accumulations you have. So maybe I need this, or maybe center need this. Then when you move, there's so many things you have to get rid of.
What did you have when you came here?
That's it. That's right. That's what I mean. We start the center from the scratch.
Right.
Yes. I didn't come here, bring some $1 million, We'll start center. Some people ask me, no, who supports your centers? No, they think some like head of the lineage or somebody, sending money. So like anyways, it goes that way. After all this, when I left 2002, I didn't have penny to take from the center. I have to leave everything behind. So look, this into accumulation is gone, finish, consume, dispersion. So look that, you see. So we meditate in our mind. Just bring the picture in your life. Is this true or not? No. This is very important to bring into the mind. You feel that. So practice non-attachment. Dedicate. Because when we start the center, as usually I say, this center started not to build a kingdom for individuals, but the center started for all people to participate. A place to share the wisdom for all sentient beings. This teaching is about for that. Not for some individuals, what's called, some individuals kind of, I don't know what to say, some individuals benefit, for all people to come. So there's one. The end of all construction is falling. Means whatever that built, it may stay 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, but at the end, will fall down. Now, as a Buddhist, it gives us such a clear picture when you visit holy places in India, the Buddhist seat. Just ruins. Even first, second centuries, at time of Buddha, how much things are built. Huge building. That time, science and technology is not there, but how much people have devotion, power. Now just ruin. Now look at that. And just meditate in your mind. There's nothing to attach. And it gives you such a great sense of peace, harmony within you. No. These are real Dharma. It's called Dharma teachings. Dharma means to hold your mind from the wrong direction. That's called Dharma. Holding your mind from the delusion. Keeping the mind in the right place. That's called Dharma. Look at this. Then the end of meeting is separating. You meet people. Even like when you walk in the street, how many people you meet on the road? Just you meet, you say hello like this, and then leave. It's meeting and finish separating. Not just in your family, not just in a group, but just when you walk on the street. You see that people and just you see each other. You meet and gone. Look at this, how impermanent. That's why past is past. Future is not come here. And this moment is changing instantly. Meditate on this. Just relax, you see, meditate on this. And just ease your mind in that state. This is the Dharma practice, you see. The end of life is death. Usually we know. As I mentioned, we know we will die one day. We all know that. But we plan to live for 1,000 years. Tomorrow I'll do this. Next year I will do this. After that I will do this. After 5 years I will do this. After 10 years I will do this. Go on and go, And who knows when we will face that end of the life. Some people think this is a pessimistic thinking. In reality, this gives you energy to work hard, to utilize your precious human life in the best way, not wasting your time. You should be done it, So these four subjects, look at these four, just carefully. All the composite phenomena are included in these four subjects. There's no anything which is not included here. That which is composite. See, the verse spoken intentionally says, the result of all accumulation is dispersion. The result of construction is falling. All who met together separate. The end of life is death. So this is general about the impermanence. How do we meditate on this? Now how we have to practice on this? So now here, summary. The classification, method of meditation, and beneficial effects of the meditation. These three comprise all the contemplation on impermanence. Now, first, classification. As to classification, there are two types. The impermanence of the outer world and the impermanence of the inner sentient beings. This first to classify two. See, this. Sometimes some people say this number, Buddhists there's a lot of numbers, they say. But these numbers, if you pay attention, give you a very clear picture all the sequences, one after another, reflect in your mind. The outer wall, inner sentient beings. First look at that. No. In addition, impermanence of the outer wall is categorized in two parts: gross impermanence and subtle impermanence outside the wall. Now inside, the inner wall is also categorized in two parts: impermanence of others and impermanence of oneself. This is how to meditate, you see. Bring your mind, then you meditate, or contemplate, we should say. There's two types of meditation. One is called the analytical meditation and a stabilizing meditation. This is more like analytical meditation. You analyze, you contemplate. The method of meditations. Now, classifications finish. All this, classification. Now, the method of meditations is the impermanence of outer walls. First, First, consider the gross impermanence of the outer wall. From down below this cosmic cycle of wind up to the fourth stage of meditative concentration. Now, meditative concentration, the form wall, the fourth is highest. Now, for modern scientists, the four form wall may be very, unclear, But you can see this planet, this wall. The scientists, they say, how it's created. The air, for the wind, then the four elements come together and they create it, you see. So from the emptiness, Big Bang, and then so on like this, Meditative concentration. There is nothing that has the nature of permanence or solidity. There's no any solid. It looks like a bubble. Look, when you look at bubble, it's big, huge. It's empty, essenceless. This whole world is in that nature. There's no permanent. There's no solidity. Look at the big buildings. Look so solid. When the earth shakes, all just become into pieces, isn't it? You can see. Nothing is unchanging. Nothing is unchanging. Everything is changing. Sometimes everything from the first stage of meditative concentration in the form wall and below the wind is destroyed by fire. It's called the cosmic fire. When the earth, the sun becomes so strong, then it just burns whole, consumes by that. Sometimes everything from the second stage of meditative concentration and below is destroyed by water. So when the storm comes, washes everything. Sometimes everything from the third stage of meditative concentration and below is destroyed by wind. These are beginning of the wall, like end of the wall. It's impermanent. Basically, it's gross way of meditating. Contemplate on this. Even this whole wall can be consumed, can be finished. Like, why me? I'm so fragile. Why not me? Which is so fragile. Just contemplate on this. So bring your mind in the right place. That understanding itself is the wisdom. On the basis of that wisdom, you get wisdom to free from the attachment. When the world is destroyed by fire, it does not even leave any ash, like oil consumed by fire. See how beautiful metaphor is. A big bowl of oil, you put a wax in the center and burns that. After a week, all oils are gone. Look at this. That's how this world transforms into. When it is destroyed by water, no sediments is left, like a salt dissolved into water. You put a handful of salt, put in the water, all disappear into the water. It's just water. Just meditate on this, contemplate. Then, when the world is destroyed by the wind, not even a tiny particle remains, like a heap of dust blown by the strong wind. With a big heap of sand, dust out there, and when the strong wind blows, it's all scattered. No dust is left. Look at that. Contemplate, meditate on this, you see. This is explained by the treasury of Abhidharma by Vasubandhu. This world will be destroyed by the fire 7 times and then once by water. When it has been destroyed by water 7 times, and then it will be destroyed by fire 7 times. At the end, it is destroyed by wind. See how fast the planet will start. And then it destroys. So first 7 times by the fire. After each 7th time, will destroy once by the water. So like that, when the world is destroyed by the 7 times by the water, then at the end will destroy, not at the end, yes, then destroy the world 7 times by the fire. Then at the end, will destroy by the wind. Then I can start that, how is world start and ends. It's very long time. Billions of years. So, 1 kalpa, you see, that's how it is, 1 kalpa. So, the maintenance of the one, the maintenance of this whole planet, one, is the same time of the destruction. And then empty. And then starting. So it is 4. It's called 4 quarter. So that 4 quarter counts as 1 kalpa, 1 aeon. This is the cosmology study according to Buddhists. Some may agree, some may not agree. Doesn't matter. It is impermanent anyway. The 4th stage now is mentioned here up to 3rd stage of the form world. The 4th stage of meditative concentration will not be destroyed by fire, water, or wind. It is self-extinguishing when the sentient beings within it dies. It's also when the sentient beings, they are born, all established, the whole dimension, the palace, the place, all just come together. and dissolves when die, dissolve into emptiness together. So there is no other conditions, fire, water, wind can destroy them. The treasure of Abhidhamma says, the impermanence of these palaces arises and dissolves with the sentient beings. Further, it appears that this world will be destroyed by fire. Now, this our present planet, this world, looks like it will be destroyed by fire at the end. The householder Belgian request sutra says, after one kalpa, this world, which has the nature of space, will become space. See, even with the Meru will burn and disintegrate. So the word burn, from that word you understand this world will be consumed by the fire. So this is the gross way of contemplating how the world will be consumed or disintegrate. Subtle impermanence of the outer walls. The subtle impermanence can be seen in the changing of the four seasons, if there is a four season in the country. In the rising and the setting of the sun and the moon, too. And in the vanishing of the instant movement. First season, sun rising, and three. There are three. Vanishing of the instant movement. There are three topics on that subtle impermanence. First, by the power of the appearance of spring in this outer wall, the ground becomes soft. Now it's a spring here. Now you can contemplate. You see how things are changing. Ground becomes soft. Little warming. Because of warming, becomes soft. Soft and colors become reddish. You can see there a lot of trees become reddish. Means leaves have started coming, and grass, tree, and vegetables all start sprouting. This is but a sign of changing. So look at this is a sign of changing. Go outside, look at the tree, how everything's changing. This is impermanent. Just relax the mind there. Caused by impermanence. By the powerful appearance of summer, the ground becomes wet. A lot of rain, a lot of rain becomes wet. The color becomes green. And tree, grass, vegetables, and leaves open, fully opened. This is also change caused by impermanence. There's two. In this you see there are two types of impermanence. One like a cup. If you throw a rock on the cup, it destroys. So there's another cause, destruction of that. Another one, the moment is itself is nature of impermanence, changing. Now these are natural. By being that way, it changes because of its impermanent. By power of autumn, the ground becomes hard. Now it's dry, hard, and the colors become yellowish. All the leaves become yellow, brown, red color. And the trees, grass, and fruit ripens. This also signifies impermanence, the changing of time. By the powerful approach of winter, all the ground becomes frozen when the snow falls, frozen. colors fade to grayish, and grass and trees grow dry. Like the tree before the no leaves, looks like they're all dry, you know. This also demonstrates the changing times in permanence. Now look at this, you just meditate, contemplate impermanence. Everything's changing. Look at this, you know. Nothing stays in one moment. This is called everything's illusion. Just a manifestation. Just meditate, you know. Go outside. Now sit in your yard. Look at the tree, grass. Just meditate on impermanence. How beautiful, you see. How relaxing the mind. Establish all this. Now he is establishing everything. This is impermanent. To lose our wrong understanding, our confused mind. We are so confused outside, projecting outside. So this is here trying to disentangling our attachment to the outside. So they're looking at the four seasons to contemplate impermanence. Impermanence in the rising and the setting of the sun and moon means that by the power of the daybreak, this outer wall is clear and white. Here, white means not just a white color. This white means precise, clear and precise. You know? But when night comes, it becomes dark. Then you cannot see. You need a light to see. It's completely two different. So look at this and meditate. This is impermanent. Daytime you go outside, walk. No fear. As soon as the dark comes, when you go outside, you have fear. There's something. So everything's house changing. Two complete different. The world is, you see. Just meditate, contemplate. Day is so beautiful, but it goes. So you can't attach to that beauty of the day. It just circulates. No? This is also a sign of impermanence. So then, day and night, when that happens, meditate on impermanence. More subtle than the fourth season. Third is impermanence seen in the vanishing of the instant moment. Each and every moment. The first moment of the world does not exist in the second moment. We just came in here, that we started breathing out in, just every moment is just vanishing. Then we said some beginning prayers, opening prayers, it's all finished. And so we started some talking, it's also vanishing. Just going, you see, every moment is going, you see. Look at our own mind, which will come later. Just changing every moment. So impermanent. So the capricious nature of the phenomena. It's so fickle.
Question. Can you be attached to, can you be detached to something and still enjoy it? Like the day is beautiful.
Yes, you enjoy, but you enjoy in the peace of your mind, not outside. When you're not attached to this, then there's a joy, there's a peace within you. That's the greater peace than projecting outside. This is the point, he's making point. How to create real peace, joy within you. We are confused. Our joy and happiness will come from outside. This is what he's saying here. Everything is impermanent, changing. So you enjoy when you got good weather. So when it's bad weather, now what happened? See, you cannot enjoy any longer. So your joy depends outside. It's so impermanent, so unreliable. This is illusion. See, make sense? Look at this, you see. We are here, as I mentioned, not culture is presenting, but try to implement, try to see it makes sense. Now, and then you just apply. See, the inner, okay. Each moment is similar, and because of the similarity, they're so similar, like a stream or river. Today you go there, a group of people, and you see the river. And tomorrow you go there, and you see the same river. You'll say, I saw this river yesterday. And we're so deluded, our mind. The river, what you saw yesterday, is gone. What you see now is a different one. We don't realize everything's how instant, how momentary. So look at this, now meditate. It's making your mind more sharp, more clear. Because our gross mind cannot capture this sharp or the instant nature. These are the critical nature why we have to practice. We are deluded, see, and perceive them as the same, like the flowing of a river, see, like that. So these are the subject that describes about the impermanence of the phenomena outer world, how to see them as impermanent, how they are changing. Look at this. Make very clear yourself. Usually like this will take maybe a whole book to write, and come up with described in a one page, a page and a half, you see. Contemplate. See. It's very precise, very clear.
I have a technical question that's bugging me.
Oh?
I have a technical question that's bugging me.
I don't. Your technical question looks like a little diluted question.
The meditative concentration, the use of the words meditative concentration. When I think of meditative concentration, I think of that as something that's internal, personal to me.
Yes, it is.
I'm relating it to the outside world and its formation. It talks about levels of meditation.
Again, you see. Which one is meditating? The outer world or your mind?
Well,
See. It's your mind, that's your mind which is analyzing, understanding, meditating. As I mentioned, there are two types of meditation. analytical meditation and stabilizing meditation. Right now here we are talking about the analyzing meditation. You analyze, contemplate. Meditation means not just make your mind blank, sit there. It's the training of the mind. Exercise your mind. Make sure you understood, and then make sure you have practiced that. Now the next comes to sentient beings, you see. Impermanence of the inner sentient beings here. Impermanence of others and then oneself. First, the other one. So from the two types of impermanence associated with the inner sentient beings, the first one is impermanent of others. All sentient beings in the three worlds are impermanent. Look at it in the walls. Everyone in the world now. The 4 continents or 5 continents, right now what we see, everyone is impermanent. Look at that, you see. From the richest people and from the poorest people, from the most powerful person to the who has no any power, sentient beings, insects, are impermanent. So you just get that picture, see. The noble, profound representation sutra says, the 3 worlds are impermanent as autumn clouds. Autumn cloud means the cloud is so shaky. They appear, disappear so fast. In the summer, when the cloud comes, strong, stay longer, cause rain for days sometimes. But in the autumn, just cloud comes and disappear, comes and disappear. Like that. And also there's a simile of the like water falling from the rock. Or like the performing clubs, the people that make dance, their hand gestures changing like that, everything's like that, impermanent. So that kind of simile. Look at the cloud, how impermanent. Look at the rainfall from the mountain. Look at the dancing hands, how changed them. Everything's like in that nature. Everybody in the world in that nature. Just contemplate that. Everyone, all others in the world. Second, the impermanence of oneself. Now here we should look to inside now. We also have to go to another life without choice. See, meditate. I have to go next life. No choice. First meditate on this. Feel that within. Usually we don't feel that. We have become so busy and attached to this life. But just take a few moments. I have to go next life. No choice. It's not scaring. It's how to prepare. Some people think it's scary. I don't like to think about that. But no choice. We have to go, So we have choice, you see. It's called, we have choice, frustration, or we have choice, fulfillment. This is why I'm making choice here. At the time of death, we die with the frustration or die with the fulfillment. There. This may be understood by investigating impermanence within oneself and by applying others' impermanence to oneself. First, say, investigating impermanence within oneself. What it means impermanent? What means death? Meditates means to contemplate. Here meditate means contemplate. On the first one, in these ways, meditate or contemplate on death. Meditate or contemplate on the characteristics of death. Meditate on life's exhaustion. And meditate on separation. Now, to meditate on death, what means death? You say, no? If you ask, what means death? One should think or contemplate. I myself cannot stay long in this world, means I cannot stay too long in this world, and will have to go to the next life. So first meditate, no? I will not stay too long. Even I stayed 100 years, even I stayed 1,000 years, still I have to go to the next. Just meditate on this. Contemplate. Contemplate this. No, contemplate this. See. Now, meditate on the characteristics of death. What's the character? How you characterize of death? So, no, characteristics of death. By contemplating, my life ends. So death means life ends. This breath ceases, stops the breath, breathing. This body becomes a corpse. It's called dead body. That's called death, you know. And this mind has to wander in different places. Then mind has to leave the body and wandering different direction, aimlessly. So simply contemplate on this, just contemplate. Sure, that will happen. And this is what is called death. This is making a foundation to practice Dharma. This is also part of suffering. Because impermanence is also suffering, you see. You don't like to change. If you change from bad to good, oh, I got better much from my problems, that doesn't mean you are fully free from the problems. Again, you will go back to the suffering. Look at this. This is so simple, but you have to practice, see. Meditate on the exhaustion of life by contemplating. From last year until now, 1 year has passed, so meditate. From last year to now. The other day, Dave took me to renew my driving license. It's 5 years, you know. So we were talking about. I thought this 5 years long, you know. Actually, it's very short. No, it's 2007. No, I renewed my driver lesson. Now 2007 is 2012. You know, 5 years passed so fast, so short. So life is like that. You see. No, look at this. During these 5 years, my 5 years, whatever suffering I went through is not here now. Whatever all the enjoyment that I got is not here now. Oh, just past. Illusion. No. That whatever I done, good things for the world, the cause is there. It continues. Whatever bad things I've done, that will continue as a cause. impermanence is taking place according to the causality. Changing. Everything's changing according to the cause. Not randomly. Changing not without cause. This is very important why we are practicing this, you see. We want to change for better. In order to change better, we have to create a better cause. So we have 100% choice right now to make the cause, good or bad. When the changes take place according to cause, we have not much choice because we have created the cause. Therefore, we are just practicing, studying this, understanding this. So look at 1 year ago, I was there, now here. This much my life is shorter. No? 1 year has passed, and by that amount, my life has become shorter. If I suppose live 80 years, now my life, 1 year life, 1 year is shorter. Meditate on that. Now how much time I have? See, this is the practice. This will bring real beneficial, the benefits. No? And by that amount, you see, from last year's past and become shorter. From last month to this, 1 month has passed. From last month, now here, 1 month is passed. Just contemplate on that. And my life that much shorter. From yesterday to today is 1 day. And by this much my life is shorter. The moment that just passed right now is past of 1 moment. By that measure, my life is shorter. No. Engaging in the contact of Bodhisattvas, Bodhichara Avatara says, definitely remaining neither day or night. Neither day nor night. Life is always sleeping. Sleeping. By never getting any longer. Why will death not come to one like me?